Well, we are here at Epcot. Enter the Land Pavilion and check out the new Soarin Across America to provide a play by play point of view review of this new attraction. Note that since it is opened, times can vary greatly from 20 minutes to over 90. If you can't walk on it first thing in the morning, I recommend the dinner time or right at closing. If the queue is long, hover around the area doing other attractions until you see the time go down and then scurry over. And scurry quickly because others are seeing the same thing on their apps. That means that while the new shake at Season's Soarin' Across America is tasty, you need to focus and get in the queue while the opportunity presents itself. While waiting to board the attraction, we encounter a new updated queue called the Soarin' Challenge Across America. In addition to patriotic bunting, we are welcomed by a large attraction poster. Pointing toward the flag hang statues of several eagles, again, soaring across America. As we progress through the queue, we see that in collaboration with National Geographic, there's an interactive trivia experience that's testing our knowledge of the United States through a whole lot of different kinds of fun facts and photography that's been pulled from National Geographic archives and publications. It seems to cover like every state. For instance, Kansas City style barbecue sauce made from what two ingredients? Hot honey and vinegar, mustard and mayonnaise, hot sauce and ranch, or tomatoes and molasses. You get to guess until finally the correct answer reveals itself, in this case, tomatoes and molasses. Then it usually adds a little bit of trivia or fun fact saying Kansas City hosts one of the largest barbecue competitions in the world. So this is a really nice little touch. They've always done a little trivia up on the screens, but this kind of follows in line with the theme of Soarin' Across America. And some of the trivia questions are easy, and some of them actually are a little tricky. So you really get the chance to just kind of, well, and this is really important because honestly, sometimes this line can kind of stall out, especially as individuals with lightning lanes kind of move through. This provides at least a chance to just chill and do something other than stare at your mobile device. So, at any rate, it's all part of the queuing experience, and it kind of all ties together with Soarin' Across America. By the way, Disney did a sort of behind-the-scenes video. I'll put the link in the notes, and it's really actually worth seeing prior to boarding for this attraction. One of the things they really emphasize is that they very much shot this thing with helicopters and heavy lift drones, although there are some big CGI type moments. We'll note some of that, but I think they really made an effort to really capture as much footage as they could in the right way. And by the way, they pulled all this together in about a year's time frame for development. So anyway, take a look at the video because it really gives you a sense of the amount of effort that went into shooting in advance, and also how they worked on it to kind of tweak it and put it on the screen after park hours as they prepared for opening. Our pre-flight instructions comes courtesy of Captain Patrick Warburton. Well, apparently he's gotten a little bit of a promotion, but he doesn't linger on long as he turns the safety briefing over to a very younger version of himself, as was seen in the original Soarin' over California. It's still as fun as it was 25 years ago when the show originally premiered at Disney California Adventure. Let's take a listen.
Hello, and welcome to Soarin' Across America. My name is Patrick, Captain Patrick. I'd like to welcome you to this special semi-quincentennial flight. We'll begin boarding in a few minutes, but first, there's a handsome young devil who'd like to acquaint you with some important safety information. When the doors to your flight open, please take a seat and store all carry-on items in the underseat compartment. This includes cell phones, bottles, hats, and of course, these little beauties. Next, fasten your seatbelts, inserting them into the buckle on your right. If smaller aviators don't measure up to the height indicator on the seat, just put the belt through the loop in the center strap before buckling. Nice work, pal. Soon you will be airborne. So if you or your little aviators have a fear of flying or of heights, you might want to wait for your party at the arrival gate. Okay, let's review. That is seatbelt, carry-on item, safety strap, fear of heights, keep your hands and arms inside at all times. Anything else? Yeah. Have a nice flight.
Alrighty, my friends, we're going to begin boarding with row 3, followed by row 2, and then row 1. Row 3, you're going to follow me inside.
Right, let's get seated and get ready to board. Our experience begins not after takeoff when you see the clouds, but the moment your seat begins to soar. We see the Kennedy Space Center where the Artemis 2 rocket is taking off. This is revealed on the screen at the same time you take off. It's a beautiful shot, but it is CGI as the actual launch happens in strong daylight, and what you witness is actually a daybreak shot. Mind you, you move into the clouds as you traditionally do in Soarin', and then you come to New York City, where you quickly fly over the Statue of Liberty and take in the skyline. They show in the documentary the helicopter filming this, but the statues and fountains below kind of portray something that's been maybe a little bit more polished up with CGI. In Maine, we see the Portland Head Lighthouse, the first built in Maine and the first created by the U.S. government. It's actually an oil painting I did as a kid, so this brings back memories, and it's a beautiful shot. Then we head to Washington, D.C., including the United States Capitol, National Mall, and Washington Monument. You know this is real, but it's somewhat cleaned up by the fact that some portion of the mall grass is always fenced off and being worked on. We head south to Louisiana, where you see a swamp airboat on the Louisiana Bayou. Great example of the use of heavy lift drones. You see the person staged there fishing, and it's all really a beautiful sight to take in. Then we go to the Ozark Mountains and the Branson Scenic Railway. This was shot by plane, which is amazing, given they were able to catch the train and then hurl over it to see the beautiful falls that are just beyond it. This seemed to have taken considerable planning to make happen. From here, we take a helicopter shot to Mount Rushmore in South Dakota. It's a great angle coming at it. Roosevelt is a little more shadowed, but really a great location to film. From there, we move to a buffalo drive toward Custer State Park, also in South Dakota. By the way, you'll smell the same kind of grass clippings that you do with the elephants in Soarin' Around the World. Here we get a rare view down on the bottom of the Grand Canyon as we move along the Colorado River. Imagineers engineered a sort of lift and air pocket change on the vehicles as you kind of jump over this little peak. Sort of misses the scale you get from the top of the canyon looking down, but still very impressive. Notice how the music has been stylized for each section of the film. This is Denali National Park in Alaska. This is a beautiful shot. We assume that the moose is CGI, but it isn't that distracting or forced like it was in Soarin' Around the World. Beautiful shot. We go from Alaska to Waikiki, Hawaii. You get the smell of pineapple. It's kind of a Dole Whip moment. Interesting, as they could have included much more of Waikiki Beach with its hotels, but instead chose to focus on Diamond Head. Then, nighttime Los Angeles, where beyond the Griffith Observatory, you see the beautiful LA skyline. And though difficult to pinpoint, if my geography is correct, coming over the mountain from the Hollywood sign, you would be technically seeing the Walt Disney Studios in Burbank at night. The finale brings us to Epcot in the Walt Disney World version, or Disneyland in the Disney California Adventure version. Epcot fireworks are a little forced, and of course, they never happen over the parking lot, but still, it is a great ending to this show.
On behalf of our entire flight crew, thanks for soaring with us. To unfasten your seatbelt, just push down on the red button on your right. Be sure to gather all your carry-on items from the under-seat compartment and exit to your left. Have a great stay here at Epcot or wherever your final destination may take you.
There are 13 locations in Soarin' Around the World, and in Soarin' over California as well. In here, there is 13 choices across the country, though none of them featured the bread basket of the country, which I understand is kind of a little hard to make as an interesting shot. Still, there was a lot of variety, and it was a really good spread over the entire country to include Alaska and Hawaii. The Bruce Loffman music is fantastic, and frankly, I think better than Soarin' Over the World. Though I wish it had weaved something a little bit more patriotic through it, like America the Beautiful or This Land Is My Land. I think when I recall the Circle Vision films of American Journeys or America the Beautiful, I just remember those melodies weaving through the score, and I wish it had had a little bit of that as well. Still, a great score. They resisted doing a lot of the CGI dissolves, which you see through Soarin' Over the World. Mostly it's just dissolves, although you do see birds flying through and kind of being used from time to time. But still, I think they were a lot more restrained in just allowing the movement from one place to the other to just dissolve from one to the other. I think it worked out pretty good. Altogether, while I look forward to writing it more, I think this is far better than Soarin' Around the World. Still, not thinking this is better than Soarin' Over California, which seemed so authentic as its original. Hard to say how long this show will be here, but I assume probably until Epcot's 50th in 2032. There's been enough attention to detail on both the queue and the film to give it a decent run.